Hello, friends and neighbors, and welcome to episode 42 of Ray and Benny Talk Sports. Do us a quick favor, smash that subscribe button, leave a like, leave a comment. It really helps us grow the channel. Where can they find us on social media, Brother Benny?
You can find us, Ray Benny Sports. We're on Twitter, we're on Instagram, we're on Facebook, and TikTok. Don't forget TikTok.
Oh, TikTok. Busy day in sports, busy day in Winnipeg sports. We're going to look at the Bomber game and the results of the game they played on Independence Day against the Argos. We've got our updated CFL Power Rankings. We don't waste time, eh? We're right in there. Last game's up.
Yeah.
Let's start ranking them. Yeah, we got to get it out. We got some shout-outs, of course, but let's start off with the big news. With the Winnipeg Jets hiring their head coach, the search is over. And like a lot of teams in the NHL, other than when whoever hired Luke Richardson, what were you forgetting? We've recycled a coach. Would you like to announce who the coach is? Because I know you're thrilled, bro. I know you're thrilled.
Yeah, I know. I mean, most people know by now, but the new coach, Rick Bowness, coming in with his 33% win percentage over his career as coach. And I know a lot of that started early. He took over a terrible Jets team back in 88, 89. Took over the expansion Senators in the early 90s or mid 90s or whatever, 92-ish. So a lot of losses there, trying to build a team. And Ottawa expansion team were very bad. So it doesn't give me much excitement here. I'm not excited about this at all.
Yeah, does Chipman have an unhealthy infatuation with the Jets 1.0?
Oh, yeah, big time, man. Big time. Mm-hmm. The fact that Scott Arniel is also an assistant coach, another ex-Jet. Who is the Nolan Baumgartner is being discussed as coaching the D. Yeah. So another guy was with Moose or whatever, right? It's either Jets 1.0 or someone who spent time with the Manitoba Moose, and it's just, come on. I know he took Dallas to like a finals a couple of years ago. They missed the playoffs the year after that. Last year they got to the playoffs, but Ottinger kind of gave him a chance to steal that first round series against Calgary.
Yeah.
So I'm not too excited. I'll give him a chance. I mean, what else can we do at this point? I hope he does well somehow. But
he has a solid roster.
I'm not expecting.
And maybe that defensive coaching that he's well known for. Like, he's not known for bringing the hammer as my way, highway, apparently as written. But he does bring a sternness to the room. He does bring a respectability and proven leadership. And they've seen him a couple times in the Central Division against a good Stars team. Not all the time good, but they've always had their troubles. Not an easy team to get through.
Yeah,
so I'm willing to give him a chance. And with you, there needs to be a change from this Jets 1.0. And this is the last chance to give it a try. And then you know what? Maybe Chipman or Cheveldayoff, or if he stays, have to get like a hockey operations person to run the team, because the connection to that 1.0 is hurting right now.
Yeah, I find it hard to believe, or it's hard to see Chevy staying past this hire
if it
doesn't work, right? I don't care. I mean, there's lots of rumors of, hey, Chipman's got a lot more control over, who the coach is or whatever. He really liked Paul Maurice. Paul Maurice wanted to leave at one point. There's rumors of Chevy even wanting to fire Maurice a couple seasons ago, but that didn't happen. And a lot of rumors saying, hey, Chipman's the man behind the scene. So this is seems like another Chipman guy here with bones.
Without a doubt.
Rick Bowness.
Without a doubt. Well, because he had his hands in Winnipeg 1.0 when they're leaving. He was part of the leadership group to keep them here, or his family. I don't know his name individually, but so, if this doesn't work, it is time to move on.
Yeah. And well, I mean, Bowness, he started reaching out to players, spoke to Scheifele. Scheifele apparently is all in.
We'll see.
So that's a good sign. Called Wheeler. Wheeler only responded with a text.
Well, he's got to trade. This trade's got to go through. And that's probably a sign of it, right?
I mean, he could be on vacation somewhere, but I'm sure you could take a 2-minute call or a 2-minute call back to your new coach
the captain
to discuss things. I was kind of shocked that Bowness even said it like that. Maybe could have just said, I haven't got a hold of Wheeler yet or something like that. But the fact that he said,
he feels disrespected. That's a bit of sternness.
Yeah.
That's a bit of sternness. Yeah, maybe. Well, your captain probably shouldn't text you back, or at least call back soon to say what's up.
You would think so. Or at least if he said, hey, man, I'm here. I can call you back in a couple days. Okay, but that wasn't part of the story. So
his leadership has been questioned all year, man. Since his pressers, since the end of the year presser with Stasny. Yeah, they got to push that trade through. It's got to happen.
He's always
Swallow 4 million.
Yeah, they're gonna have to. He's always been a guy ever since he was captain that had a hard time dealing with media and that kind of stuff, and not like he almost seemed reserved in his answers. Didn't handle all that very well. He showed it on the ice for sure. He was captain on the ice and all that stuff, but with media wise, it was a little different. So yeah. I like Bowness with his. This is a very good hockey club. For whatever reason, it lost its way last year. Okay, I'll believe you. We'll see what happens.
His goal is to make the playoffs. He seems pretty confident in it.
Yeah. He didn't want to go to a rebuilding team, so I can't see Winnipeg then now shipping out Dubois, Scheifele, all those guys that we talked about last time. So,
well, they have a year now, and we'll see. Exactly. Yeah. Oh, boy.
Congrats to Rick Bowness.
We'll see. That's a slogan for us.
That's the Jets slogan this year.
Put that on a shirt. We'll see. Hashtag we'll see.
We'll see.
That's almost better than hashtag let them know.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's move on to the CFL and let's talk about the W's and how the Bombers squeaked one
this side
of Toronto. Toronto's a hard place, man. The 6 is hard on the Bombers, and it was hard again. It shouldn't have been this hard.
No, that offense, man. I will tell you right now, I don't know what's going on watching this offense. The play calling is atrocious. Buck Pierce has to get it together, man. I don't know, like. For most of the first half, they weren't throwing it beyond 10 yards, really. It was the odd time here and there. They were liking their swing passes to McRae, swing passes the other way to Jaganeri Grant, which a couple of plays were great, or the jet sweep were good.
Yeah.
But other than that, there was no creativity there. And then in the running game, again, non-existent. And then what do you see? You see Andrew Harris going for over 100.
Who on this team is taking the top off in the receiving core? Nobody. Nobody's a deep threat. I don't know why they don't send Janarian Grant down the line.
At least a couple
all
times.
All of them are just sitting back there waiting. And without that running game, it's even more so. Like Muamba was able to control the middle of the field for a lot of the game against the. And you know what? Last week I called this thing Independence Day, and they had to prove that the running game wasn't dependent on Andrew Harris. And so far, no.
Yeah, I'll give Harris credit. I know he was pumped up. He wanted to show what he could do.
For sure.
He made me regret that the Bombers gave him up last year because, you know, I thought maybe it was time for him to go on too. But, you know what? He showed it today. And he brought it. And, you know, he showed his frustrations early in the game when they got stopped on that third down play.
Yeah.
He looked, and at that point I'm thinking, okay, it's back. You know, any chance for the Argos having it is kind of down right now, and it looks like everything will go the Bombers' way. But they came right back, had a good drive. You know, Bombers throw that pick right at the end of the half, which adds more momentum to the Argos.
Jeez, that was unnecessary. They should have at least left with a field goal.
At least a field goal, or at least a field goal attempt.
Even though it was all field goals all game, they're not finishing these drives.
No,
and a lot of it has to do with a vanilla offense.
Yeah,
like it's huge. You're missing Nick Dembski, especially after you broke out last game 6 for 96. But it's like they're almost very predictable. No motion on the line, no movement. It was really disappointing. Although what was really scary was Hardrick going down.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness! If that guy is,
Kyrie Wilson going down actually is scary because that guy he went non-contact injury. I'm sure that's some kind of ACL, Achilles.
No
or something.
Weight on that when he left.
No, so that's not good. And you got a game coming up in 5 days against BC. So yeah, this offense has to figure it out. The defense is saving him. Pick 6. You know, then another Nick Taylor interception that gave him short field. There's their 2 touchdowns. Yeah. After that, they scored 3 field goals.
They should have had another pick, but that was a stupid call by the ref when Houston was clearly, sorry for yelling in the microphone, Houston was clearly down on the ground, like shin, knee, thigh, butt, ball comes out. And the ball was there's no movement.
He's being touched.
Absolutely.
You think once you hit that ground, you're being touched. I get the one thing is that they say he lost control, so he didn't have full control going to the ground and make the catch, but he's touched on the ground. So that should be play over there, right there, right?
There was no movement of the ball until he was down on the ground with Banks on top of him.
Yeah.
Banks is
CFL,
lost.
man.
Oh, that reffing.
They if they don't score there though, right? That's a huge play. Now you're still down 17-3.
Yeah.
Maybe the Bombers drive down and get a field goal or something or whatever, but that's a huge play that probably kills any momentum Toronto had. and then makes a game a little bit more boring than what it was getting to for Toronto, right? So
Yeah.
CFL made it interesting. Bombers offense made it interesting, but the D again held out and came out on top.
The Toronto sideline made it interesting. Brad Banks and that O lineman. What was pinball had to come down from the press box, right? See where I'm pointing? No, right there. The press box is right. So I can't figure it out on Zoom. But he had to come all the way down and talk these players.
That was hilarious.
That's not good for Dinwiddie and the coaching staff that the GM has to come down. And what is up with that?
And it's funny. I don't know exactly what was the anger there. I mean, Banks was the one who caused the fumble / interception that happened on that play. So
yeah.
I am not sure exactly what set those two off, but Banks was still jawing at the guy and still apparently maybe possibly threw a water bottle at him to keep things going. And that's where pinball came down to control the sidelines. But yeah, that's not a good look for Brandon Banks or the Argos sideline or Dinwiddie or any of his coaches that they couldn't control this situation at all, that they needed the GM to come down and do it. So Dinwiddie to me, I mean, BLT was not great tonight. He came on a little bit later,
quarter,
a couple of interceptions, but again, with the fourth quarter and the Bombers.
Hey, he brought them back. He brought them. Toronto should have been playing a little more football.
Yeah.
Or the Bombers should have been driving for a win, because that was ridiculous to miss that single point.
Boris Beatty, bro. That was something.
He's such an amazing kicker. That's like Medlock missing it pretty much, right?
Yeah. Oh, I mean, he shanked that. That was one of the worst converts I've seen in a long time. I don't know, man.
The Bombers snuck out of that one.
Yeah.
Coach Jose is like, we got the 2 points, and now it's time to get out of town.
Yeah, let's get out of Toronto where things usually end up bad and get the heck back to Winnipeg.
Exactly. Count your blessings and get out of there. So, I don't know, man. 5 days rest, and one practice until BC.
And then you got to travel to BC. So you're going from an Eastern time zone back to Winnipeg or Central time zone, then now back to the West Coast, and you're another time zone there. So I don't see that game going well, but we'll probably talk about that at another time.
Or we might talk about it right now, because we're going right into the CFL Power Rankings.
Yes, we are.
Hot and ready off this last game. We're going to go from 9 to 1. I'm sorry, bro. Any other thoughts on the Bomber game?
No, I was kind of
zooming
shocked.
right by there. I'm like, we touched about the extra point. I'm like, is it time to move on? But there was so much happened. Oh, that bad interference call as well on Houston.
Yeah, the late one at the end of the game there too.
Yeah.
The Mario Houston's actually looked pretty good so far. Yeah, and I was kind of shocked that they cut Taekwon Glass, but I guess if Houston's looking good, they know what they're doing. Winston Rose came back with a bounce back game today.
Pick six
and a few other plays. He gave up a few plays, but he also was there. He caused, I think, the interception that led to who intercepted it? Was it Thompson? Malcolm Thompson? Yeah, because then he handed it off, I believe.
Yes, that's right.
It was Rose, then Big Hill, then Thompson, and then Taylor, right?
He went for Big Hill diving.
Yeah. I was like, what is he doing? He's like twisted like this. It's
wow.
That was a good play by him too. So yeah, a little shocking. Houston should have had an INT as well, but Cam Lawson dropped that one. Did you see that one?
Right through the bread basket. Oh,
his arms were basically like this.
Yeah, close them, bro. Close them. But hey, that's why he's on the D line.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. So get out of Toronto. Let's move on to BC.
They're 4-0, man. They're 4-0.
We'll take it.
Not pretty, though.
Of course. No, none of them. So let's get to these power rankings. Let's start at number 9. I have Hamilton.
I agree.
They're horrible. Last time their Cats were 0-4 was 2017, and they went 0-8.
So, did they still make the playoffs?
They probably could. Looking at the East Division now, hey, West is 11-1 against the East.
That is ridiculous.
So yeah, who you got at 9?
I got Hamilton as well, man.
Yeah,
Dane Evans still has not got it together. No. Him running the ball late in the game, which led to the fumble, which led to the score that gave Edmonton the lead in the win.
Yeah.
And his interceptions, 2 more interceptions, the fumble, again, they're tips off receivers' hands, but they're also not great passes, man. So
it seems like they're just not executing. They're just not there. And luckily they're in the East, so they have time to get there.
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, no team has more than Montreal and Toronto have a win each.
Ugh,
right?
Goodness.
You win 2 games and all of a sudden you're in first place, man.
Good old CFL. Who do you got at 8, bro?
Well, I got the team that beat them, the Elks, number 8. I know they have one win, and some teams don't have any, but you know, I can't move them up too far with that victory over Hamilton. I feel that game was more Hamilton shooting themselves in the foot than Edmonton actually taking that game. Trey Ford started.
Congrats.
I guess good for another Canadian QB to get in there, won the game, so good for him.
Yeah.
Not a great stat line, 160 yards, but he had 60 yards rushing too, so
10-yard average.
Didn't make any mistakes, so that's what you wanted out of a rookie QB. So
yeah.
Again, Kenny Lawler was his main guy with 4 catches. I mean, there's not much there, I guess, but Lawler's still bringing it and getting his TDs. So
yeah, I have Edmonton there as well. And, I don't usually cheer for West teams, but Edmonton's one of those teams that they have to do at least decently well and competitive to get a crowd going again, because they're one of the pillars of the CFL with Winnipeg and Saskatchewan. I still can't believe teams run by MLSE need money from us. Not us, sorry, community-owned teams. Like, what a joke. But anyways, so let's move on to 7, and I have Toronto at 7. They can't score. 3 last names is not the answer. It's time for the Chad Kelly experiment in Toronto. Might as well. He clearly doesn't have control of the sideline as a leader there because the pinball had to come down. So I think it's time to move on from them. They have a bye this week, so it'd be a good time to bring in Chad Kelly to really prepare him for the next game.
Toronto have a bye this week?
I think so.
Again?
Coming up, yeah. There's only 3 games this week. I think Toronto, Hamilton, much needed bye.
Oh, right. Yes, that was the one I was trying to remember. Hamilton. So Toronto will have one too.
And so does the Alouettes.
Oh, jeez. That's okay.
Only 3 games. Schedule makers. For
some reason, I thought it was just Hamilton with the bye, but
wow. So I got Toronto at 7, and time for Chad Kelly.
I'm going to, just with Toronto's effort tonight in that second half and beyond, I'm going to put Ottawa at number 7 for me, because you're 0-3. You were facing a team that had played it, again, short week. They were coming at you. They had to travel all the way, mostly across the country to get to you.
Yeah.
And your game plan wasn't good enough, and you had a week off to get ready for that. And I'm putting this one on Lapo again. His offense just wasn't clicking. Mazzoli was only 50% and only 162 yards. 11 runs only when you had Powell back in there too, right?
Oh.
It's just the use of his offense and the use of the mistakes they're still making. I can't give any praise to Lapo this week.
Yeah, I'm going to stick actually Ottawa at 7. Just because I think if they went toe-to-toe with Toronto right now, their defense is good enough to really put the locks on.
Yeah.
Even though their offense looks horrible and they should be doing better, you'd think, with Mazzoli and Ackland and Darvin Adams, you think. And Powell, like you said, is back. But I'll put them at 6. Who do you got at 6?
Well, then I'm going to put Toronto at 6. So flipped, for me around there. Ottawa now goes to Saskatchewan next week. So that'll be another tough one. You can't fall to 0-4. In this. I mean, and they won the turnover battle in this, and they still ended up losing. So I'm going to give Toronto the edge. Toronto at 6, Ottawa at 7 for me.
How about 5?
Number 5, we're going Montreal Alouettes. I mean, I don't know. Do they even deserve to be 5? I mean, none of those teams really probably need to be 5 to 9. They need to be lower for how bad they are.
Yeah.
Montreal, after that 1 week beating Saskatchewan, now you gave up 6 sacks. Trevor Harris did not have a great game under pressure, 2 INTs. Nothing in the run game. Vernon Adams came in for a bit, but there was not much there. So
they need him. The Trevor Harris isn't the quarterback, and I don't know if Vernon Adams can get back to the 2019 where he's like 4,000 yards passing, 400 yards running. I don't know if he can get there, but I think you got to put him in to hope he gets there. He just has that extra mobility that he provides. I
agree.
Always cheering for Kahari, but it's rough.
I think if anything, Harris is not your future anyways. You almost have to see if Adams has it, but the problem is Kahari's job is on the line here, right?
Yeah.
So if he puts Adams back in and he doesn't have what it takes to lead this team, it's Kahari's job that's gone. But he's in the same boat with Harris, right? And Harris, if your O-line's not able to block for you, Harris is in trouble.
Yeah, and it's not all on the offense.
No.
Saskatchewan scored on touchdowns on their first 3 drives of the second half.
Yeah.
So the Owls across the board aren't very strong. Other than that, crazy returner, Chandler Worthy.
Yeah.
3 returns for like 120 with a touch. That guy's crazy.
Yeah, that's the only thing they can hang their hat on right now, because that was a terrible beatdown.
Yeah.
You called it. You said it would be a large margin in that one.
At 4, I got the team that beat them, Saskatchewan, who they looked dominant. That's the team who we thought would be pressing the Bombers for top spot, or at least I thought they would. And it's what happens when you only have one practice. CFL schedule makers.
Yeah, exactly. Those short weeks are tough. I have Saskatchewan at 4 as well.
Yeah.
That Jamal Morrow running back there, another 100-yard game, looking pretty good.
Yeah, no doubt.
Fajardo still, looking okay, not great. He had 2 TDs, 224. Slow start again.
Yeah, it took him a while to warm up.
So he has not had. He's been fine, I guess, this season. But nothing like he was a couple seasons ago when he was lighting it up. I don't know if it's all the injuries that are starting to catch up with him, but he still has not looked at that level from a couple seasons ago. So it'll be interesting to see as they get deeper in the season and start playing more of the West, how they do.
According to Chris Jones, it's because of Steve McAdoo that he was that good.
Interesting. But then Fajardo beat Chris Jones. So.
He called him out. I have Calgary at 3. They had a bye. They stand pat. Again, they play Edmonton, so that's looking strong. Bo Levi gets a week off to get healthy, so I have him at 3.
I have him at 3 as well. You're not going anywhere with these other teams. Like if Saskatchewan week before, if they had played a bit better game at Montreal, might have leapfrogged them this week for me. But yeah, there's nothing to move them beyond Calgary at number 3 for me.
Yeah. I'm gonna go next with my number 2, and it's gonna be the Bombers. Just because of how they showed in this last game and how BC showed in their last game. Rourke is still on fire. Another 80-something yards, a 50-yard touchdown. Percentage-wise, 23 out of 31 for 359. A couple of mistakes at the beginning, but he was able to recompose himself. Lions put up 37. That's the first time they're held under 40.
Yeah.
Winnipeg is going to be at 2 for me.
I'm still going BC 2, Winnipeg 1 for me. But like you were saying, that's impressive though. Short week, traveling, big win by BC, especially when Rourke, he had the yards and all that stuff. 2 INTs though. He wasn't at his best like he was the first couple of weeks.
Yeah.
But he still got it done. That run around the outside and down the field, like, wow. Even the pass to Keon Hatcher. I get it. Hatcher was wide open, but Rourke, made sure, had a guy coming at him hardcore last second, got the ball out, and sent the guy away for the TD. And then BC's D looked good as well.
Didn't they?
Tim Bonner with a couple sacks. So
yeah, when they had to step up, they stepped up. That D line's still pretty impressive, like you said. So that's why I have BC 2. Winnipeg 2.
Winnipeg 2.
It hurts me to say it. It's still early though, and it's just power rankings. So
I kept Winnipeg at 1 just because they did get the win.
Yeah.
They're 4-0. They haven't lost. They're still Grey Cup champs. So they got that slight edge. But I don't know, man, with this 5-day resting and maybe even if they had longer, I don't know. We'll see. But I'm not feeling really good about this week coming up against BC. If they beat BC,
that's put me over the edge. That's the thing that put me over the edge. That if I were to take them 1v1, I'm taking BC on this one.
Yeah.
So sorry, Bomber Nation. I still got love for my team. They're still my favorite, but I'm just telling the truth on my end for the power rankings.
What are you saying? I'm not telling the truth?
You're telling your truth. That's the way the power rankings are. I'm telling my truth. You tell your truth. Someone's truth is right. Someone's truth is wrong.
Yes. Wait, what?
You got any shout-outs, Benny?
You know what? I'm going to give a shout-out to the quarterback of the Elks. Straightforward. First CFL start. Canadian quarterback. Congrats on your first CFL win.
What impressive. Waterloo.
Yeah.
Waterloo University alum from Niagara.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
I never thought of like a Niagara Falls as somewhere where people play sports and go to high school and excel, but hey.
No, I thought everyone just goes there for the falls and that's the only really thing there, right?
That's what I thought.
I guess there's more than we know.
There's casinos.
There is casinos there, yes.
Yeah.
They got a nice strip there of whatever they had down there. It was a fun time.
I got a shout out to the Manitoba High School Athletic Association's Athletes of the Year. There's a whole bunch. Check them out online from A, AA, AAA, quadruple A. The overall high school male and female athlete of the year were announced, and they were Gwen Besslin of Sanford Collegiate and San Ludwig of Westgate as a AAA, because we were a AAA school.
We were.
West Kildonan.
We didn't win a lot, but we were.
We tried.
We tried, I guess. Yeah, we tried.
Goodness. Benny, you have anything to say to the people?
You know what? Thanks a lot for listening. Don't forget to subscribe and follow us, and have a good one.
And in the words of George Brett, if a tie is like kissing your sister, losing is like kissing your grandmother with her teeth out. Be kind, be safe, help each other out. Hey, friends and neighbors, don't forget to check us out online on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter at Ray Benny Sports. And don't forget to check out our YouTube channel. Leave a like, leave a comment, tell us what you think.